Okay guys, just giving you another update on this small kitchen we're doing. We're renovating. Got all the cabinets in. Everything came out real nice. Still have some minor adjustments to make in the doors and things, but for the most part everything is pretty much done. So they're all installed. Last time I showed you we had the plywood bases to raise the countertops, and I did that. And today it's Sunday, Easter Sunday. I'm just taking my time snapping these tiles for the borders here, just dry fitting them. I haven't thin setted those down yet. They're just strictly dry fitted to make sure everything would work out. So it's coming out real nice. And stand up here. Still, we've decided, well, the homeowners, I guess, have decided that we're going to do concrete countertops. So that's in the near future, not right in the immediate future, but pretty soon. We just have some other things to do, obviously, before we're ready to do that. Final paint and trim, and got to build the extension jambs for that window and trim it out so that it matches this one over here. And this is where the dishwasher goes. We're going to build a platform right here. The tile will run across the face of that plywood that you see, because what we're actually going to do, and I think I have a piece over here, is you can see we've run these tile up the side of the base. That was requested by the homeowner, and what we have to do is kind of go around and mark all these so that they follow the pattern, so that the floor pattern continues up the side. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it'll make a nicer end result. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap them up the side. I'm going to put a 16-inch spacer underneath of these tiles, because you do need to leave a small gap, for expansion. And also what I'm going to do is, you can't grab that zone because it's dissimilar to, the floor and the cabinets move independently from each other just through seasonal change. And you have to use a matching caulk that matches the grout. And in the previous videos I've talked about using the Bostik urethane grout, and we're staying with that, and it's like a jet black color, so the sanded caulk will match that pretty well. But anyway, let me show you this detail we're going to do here. I pretty much have enough of these filler strips, okay, to rip down. And basically what we're going to do is create a cap for that tile. You could use a tiled pencil molding if you want, and we had talked about that. Like, we're going to use up here, we're going to have a pencil molding up top. And we talked about that, but the homeowner really liked the wood, the suggestion I made with the wood, being that we have enough of it to do the cap. I really have one to do here, one to do over here, one on that side, and then I'm going to return small pieces back by the refrigerator and the stove, which is right over here. Just enough to go back to where you won't see them any longer, and the appliances are there, so you'll never see next to those anyway. But so anyway, yeah, I told you I'd give you a quick update. Oh, over here you can see the air duct we cut into the bottom of the cabinet, and the base of the tile will run up there, and we'll have to modify that, obviously, and there's going to be like a black iron style register cover there to cover that hole. We had talked about doing it with the tile, essentially me just making a series of slices in the tile every so many, half-inch apart, maybe quarter-inch slits half-inch apart. But we wanted to, the homeowner just wanted something a little more decorative, and if they ever wanted to change it or anything per se, they wouldn't have to destroy anything. So anyway, I wanted to show you that, and I wanted to, another tip I can give you if you have the patience and if you have the time, and if you don't have a helper, if you're working by yourself, which I am on this particular project, I like to dry lay them if it's not too many, and space them out so that you know exactly where they're going, and make your marks and do your cutting ahead of time. I've pretty much snapped, this whole room, not too much time. And that way I'll mix up my mortar and the installation will be very quick instead of mixing up the mortar and cutting. And I do have a wet saw set up outside to make some of these off cuts, the 90-degree cuts. You could do those with a grinder. I mean, you don't have to buy a wet saw. I just have one because for my business, but and it is a little quicker than doing it with a grinder and a diamond wheel, 4-inch diamond wheel. But don't think you have to buy that specialty equipment unless you're cutting, marble or glass or something pretty fragile. But this is porcelain. It's pretty hard. And if you cut it with a grinder, you'll most likely, you'll get some chipping on the edges. Like down here, you would get some chipping maybe from the grinder. But it's going to be covered up, so I wouldn't stress about it too much. The other thing you want to make sure you do is when you're cutting tile to fit against the wall, you need to have an expansion joint. A 1/4 inch would be good. I'm going a hair less than that because I want to make sure that my tile cover it. And I'm going to use this PL Premium Loctite, which is a urethane-based adhesive. Works real well. And when I go to set the tile base, I'm going to use that. I have to scuff up the faces of the cabinetry first, the lower part of the toe kick, because it's glossy, and I really want the urethane to bite down into the grooves, so I'm going to sand it. But if you take some of this tape and you just take your time, and you can set each one, put that 1/16 inch spacer underneath of there, set that glue. If your floor is not perfectly flat, which we talked about in one of the other videos, how that's pretty important. But if you don't have it perfectly flat, you can get your grout joint, the appropriate size, make sure it's nice and straight, and use some tape to hold it to another tile so that it won't move. So that's just another little trick. Just a roll of painter's tape, and I'm going to cap it off here with this whiskey, I forget what, I think it's like whiskey glazed maple. Nice cabinets. They're all soft close doors. You can see the little adjustment here, the little shock absorber, so that when you slam the door, it closes on its own. So anyway, that's another update on the kitchen. Again, this is just kind of a little side project I'm working on for a family member, and at this point they've decided to go with concrete countertops, which are going to look nice. So we're going to make them somewhat the same color as the floor, most likely lighter, probably more of the brown shade that you see in the floor, with maybe some dark accent swirl or streaks in it. But once we get those done, that'll be a nice little video I'll show you guys. But anyway, that's it for now. Hope those couple little tips helped you. And one more quick turnaround so you can see everything. this one here, we actually ended up adding a springed hinge. Put your sponges in here. Any scrubbing brushes for the sink. That closes. Got this cardboard on here for the doorknob when it swings over. And I apologize for the videos, but I'm just doing them on my BlackBerry. So I'll eventually get to using my camera to do it, being a little nicer. But in here is a one trash, one recycling bin. And that's it. So I need to get back and snap a couple more of these tile. The wet saw is also nice. I ended up with a little L-shaped piece here that, you know, the less vibration from the saw, it gave me a nice cut. So anyway, that's it for now. I'll try to do another video maybe once I get the trim done and the tile grouted. Shoot another one and show you guys the progress. Okay? Thanks for watching.